Hey Reed, just wanted to follow up with our conversation that we had a little while back regarding the mapping, and I just kind of committed to showing you how you can use dashboards, and I'm a big advocate on kind of using it. So I've got a dashboard built, and the dashboard is called account based sales drilling service provider. And if you come up to the universal search when you're looking for it, just put it up in there, hit enter, and then ultimately, if it doesn't show up here as a something that shows up, you can click on the sidebar and then take a look at dashboards, wherever they are, dashboards, click on that, and then there it is right there. So that'll get you to the dashboard. So dashboard, there's a couple reports just kind of presented different ways, and our goal is to kind of tell a story. And so what I'm doing is we've got the drilling rig, and then in the drilling rig you put in the service provider, drilling service provider, and so we've got kind of two scenarios when we looked at kind of tell a story. Is that this one here shows all of the operators where there is a value of Magnum in the drilling service provider, but it might not be 100% Magnum. So here we could see that ARC Resources has 6 rigs, and that's what the record count is the rig count. And because we're looking at the drilling rig object, so they've got 6 drilling rigs where the drilling service provider has been filled out. And then this particular column here talks about where you are where it's gone in the drilling service provider, and it says Magnum in there. So example for ARC is they've got 6 rigs, and in there you have 2 of those rigs. So when we take a look at it, you've got 30% of that particular customer's market share. So so what I do when we start to try and tell a story, and and this is really the same information just showed in a table format. So here's all the rigs that we've got that are active today with ARC. So we're updating this on that weekly basis, and out of that, you are the drilling service provider on these 2 particular rigs. And then the other rigs, all the other ones, somebody else has been tagged as a drilling service provider. So when we talked about the location, hey, I want to really focus on a location. When I try to tell a story, and I'm a big believer of this kind of account-based selling. That's what ABS stands for, account-based sales, or account-based rig sales is another way that I kind of talk about it. I say to myself, okay, if I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into an area, and I want to call on a rig that we're not doing business with, my philosophy is, here are our 2 precision ones with ARC, and if any of these other ones show up in the area that these are operating in, then we should go in and talk to them. And it doesn't have to be specifically ARC, could be any one of these companies listed here. So if we pick an area, and then what we want to do is we want to look at all these rigs that are listed here, and I think there's about 100 rigs, not 100 rigs, but whatever the number is, and then we want to say to ourselves, hey, which are in this particular area, which are the ones that we want to look at. So, just to expand on that, here's Bonnyville. So right now there are 8 rigs that you are the service provider on in the Bonnyville area. And then when we come down here, I'm just going to refresh this to make sure it's all drawn on that side of it. So the concept behind the account-based selling or the rig-based selling is, here is Bonnyville. These are all the rigs where you guys have an MSA. You guys are doing, these are the other accounts that you have it with. And then when we look at it, what I'm trying to say here is that if I'm in the Bonnyville area and I'm on a rig where we're doing business with today, and then I want to go out and I'm looking in that area, what are the rigs where we're not doing business with today? Here's the list of rigs that we're not doing business with customers that we are doing business with. And then this is kind of broken out by geographic region. And I know this is a little hard to connect the dots here, but the concept is, if we wanted to drill down on this closer, and we can look at the specific report here. So for myself, is that I would say that, and then I might want to do it by based on lease. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to change this out and then say instead of I'm going to say lease and field. So so the concept again is if I'm going out and I'm talking, if I'm in the Fisher area on a rig that we're doing business with, and I want to go out and make a call, my recommendation is to focus on the accounts where you have an agreement with and you are not on that particular rig here. So again, in the Fisher area, what we can look at is I can go out and talk to Ensign 218, or I can go out and I can pay a visit to these Synovus rigs here. So that is the concept from a geographic perspective. Of course, this is just really high level, and we continue to kind of work through it. But just a quick recap is take a look at the dashboard that we've created. Again, watch the video on that side of it, and then trying to get down to breaking it down by area, accounts that are friendly, that we're not doing business with those rigs. How can you present that to people so you can make it easy for them to find that information and be able to focus on those particular rigs? So that's just an example of how we do account-based selling to existing MSA accounts where we are not on the specific rigs that we've identified.